During a routine traffic stop in Coronado, California, the man is confronted by the police for allegedly violating the California Vehicle Code. The officer singles out the GoPro camera mounted on his helmet as the reason for the stop, initiating a contentious debate over the interpretation and application of the law.
It's an infraction. It's a moving violation. You can't have anything on your helmet. It compromises the integrity. Can I have the information I asked you for, please?
Actually, sir, I mean, the fact that you pulled me over for a traffic violation of a GoPro on the top of my helmet, which is for my safety, it's kind of ridiculous. I will not be consenting to anything. So
Okay.
if you need to get a sergeant out here, that'd be great. But,
What's your name?
did I commit a crime?
I've stopped you for a traffic violation.
Okay.
I've asked you for your information. You're refusing to give it to me.
I'm not refusing to give it to you. It's just I did not commit a crime. And you pulled me over for a GoPro on my helmet,
And it's a traffic
which
violation.
is for my safety.
Okay. Do you understand what I stopped you
What's
for?
your name and badge number? Bliss, what's your badge number?
You answer my
Asserting his Fourth Amendment rights, the man engages in a heated argument with the police, refusing to provide his identification. He maintains that he has not committed a crime and questions the legality of the officer's actions.
And in fact, it's the stupidest thing you can pull me over for is that freaking camera.
Is speeding a crime?
A camera
Is
on
speeding
my
a,
helmet.
Is speeding a crime?
A camera on my helmet, sir.
Answer my question. Is speeding a
I'm not
crime?
answering any more questions. I'd like to speak to my lawyer.
Can I have your information, please?
You can get your sergeant.
Sit tight. I just want to let you know that I'm also recording this stop.
Of course
I've
you are.
asked you numerous times for your information and you're refusing to do so.
I'm not refusing. If I committed a crime, I would absolutely give you my ID.
All right. You've been stopped for a traffic violation,
I got stopped for a GoPro on my helmet.
and I've told you it's a traffic violation.
That's a bullshit violation. So go ahead and get your sergeant here.
Okay, I've told you it's a violation, so you're still refusing to produce your information.
If
when you've been
you can
informed that you-
articulate a crime that I have committed, I will ID. Until then, I do
Okay.
not have to ID. And in fact, this is a violation of my Fourth Amendment right, and I am now invoking Title 18, Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. If you do one more movement without getting your sergeant here, you're fucked.
Did you hear me?
Did you hear me? Get your sergeant here. I'm
I'm
done speaking to you. I
I'm
told you
explaining-
I am done talking. I am now invoking my Fifth Amendment right to stay silent.
If
Thank
you
you.
fail to produce your information,
Then what? You're gonna
you're in
arrest me?
jeopardy of being
So that'd
placed
be
under
kidnapping,
arrest.
and I already invoked Title 18, Section 242.
How is that kidnapping?
You'll find that out in court, sir.
You're failing to identify
You'll
to
find that
myself.
out in
Are
court.
you familiar with?
Are you getting your sergeant?
Are you familiar with Section Penal Code
Are
148?
you not listening to a lawful order?
Are you listening to
Call
my
your
lawful order?
sergeant.
Invoking Title 18, Section 242, the man points out the potential degradation of rights under the color of law, emphasizing his knowledge of legal statutes. In addition, he exercises his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, further reinforcing his stance against self-incrimination. The encounter intensifies as legal principles clash with law enforcement's demands for identification.
He literally pulled me over for this.
You Cody Shear?
Mind your own business.
Are you Cody Shear?
I am not answering questions. I don't answer questions.
Wow, this cop is a piece of shit. Not only is he harassing this man, he's out here blatantly saying his name. If that even is his name, he's just throwing out someone's information like that. This cop's a grade A piece of shit.
If he issues you a citation, are you gonna sign it?
If he issues me a citation,
Correct.
he could take that and wipe his ass with it.
Why are you being so?
Because he pulled me over for a fucking GoPro on my helmet. Okay? Is that a crime?
If it's in the vehicle code, then yes, it is.
Is it a crime? Do you know what a crime is?
Yes, I know what a crime is. If
Okay.
it's in the vehicle code, then it's a crime.
So just tell me what the difference between a crime and an infraction is.
An infraction is a crime, yes.
Okay, so is this a misdemeanor or a felony?
I don't know. It's definitely not a felony.
Well, I know that, but is it a misdemeanor or a felony?
It's
Neither
most likely
one.
Not, it's most likely not a
Either one.
misdemeanor too.
Okay.
But I don't.
So I don't need an ID for a non-crime.
He's,
The other cop comes to the guy and asks him to provide his ID, where he asks the cop really politely if this is a crime, and that he has a cam on his helmet, where the guy refused to give his ID to the cops.
How's it going, Lee?
morning, sir. How are you?
Morning.
So what's going on?
So it was a great day.
Okay.
Okay, I was just out enjoying my day, and I got pulled over for having a GoPro on my helmet.
Okay.
Okay, and so I let Bliss know that, this is a violation of my Fourth Amendment right. The fact that I was just traveling, I was following all the rules and laws of the road, and traffic safety and nothing. And then he gets behind me and pulls me over for a GoPro. and tries to tell me that that's a violation of whatever code. What safety code? What does it even matter? You know, what if I had a fin on my helmet? What if I put my visor up? Is that now a violation of the traffic code? Like, look how close my visor is being as high as my GoPro. What violation, what crime have I committed? Please tell me.
Okay, so you're in violation of the California Vehicle Code, which says you can't have that mounted on your helmet.
Okay, so can you
It's as
tell me
simple
what
as
code
that.
that is?
Pardon?
What code is that?
Or, I don't know, what code is it?
Okay, look that up and also
But
tell me what crime I
regardless-
committed.
Regardless, it's an infraction.
Okay,
It's like speeding.
and I'll see him in court.
Correct.
Absolutely.
need
And
your
it's gonna be a
we
fun
need
day in
your-
court. Make sure you're ready for a full day, buddy.
Correct. And we need your information.
A discussion unfolds between the man and sergeant who arrives at the scene. The man asserts his rights and questions the legality of being pulled over for having a GoPro on his helmet. Tensions rise as they debate the need for identification and potential consequences.
Are you threatening me
I'm
with
not threatening you at all.
arrest?
I want to know whether
No,
you're going to
with
provide
arre-
us
with an
your
arrest.
identification so he can fill out his citation, so then we can give you a summons to go to court, so then you can come to court and then talk to the judge about it.
You know how easy it is for him to just put his tail between his legs and say, take that off your helmet?
Pardon?
Why couldn't he have said, if that's such a violation, why couldn't he have just asked me to take it off?
Well, he would have.
No, he didn't. He could have, he walked up. He wanted my ID so he
Yes,
can give me a
wanted your
ticket.
ID, so he
Right.
can- how do you know he's going to give you a ticket?
Because he asked for my ID.
How do you know he's going to give you a
It
ticket?
doesn't matter. I
So
mean,
you're making an
listen,
assumption
so
because
listen,
he
here,
asked
look,
for an
here,
ID
right here.
that you're going to get a ticket.
right
correct?
here, don't be
So-
grabbing, and you're getting too close to my personal stuff. Right here is my ID.
Okay.
Okay? Am I being threatened with an arrest because I put a GoPro for my safety on my helmet and got pulled over by a...
The man firmly asserts his belief that he is not obligated to provide his identification unless he has committed a crime. He challenges the sergeant, accusing him of violating constitutional rights and asserting that law enforcement officers are merely public servants. He provided the cop with the ID.
You asked for one thing, you got one thing, that's all you're getting until this I speak to my lawyer.
Well, I'm not a party to this. I was just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Just to throw it out there.
Tensions escalate as both parties exchange harsh words, with the man displaying a distrust of the officer and expressing his intention to expose alleged misconduct. The encounter concludes with the man receiving a citation and preparing for a legal battle, vowing to challenge the actions of the officer and seeking accountability for what he perceives as a violation of his rights. In this terrifying incident, a young woman named Taylor Brown was subjected to harassment and assault by over 6 police officers without any apparent reason. On February 9, 2023, 18-year-old college student Taylor Brown was at the Normal Police Department in Illinois for an interview regarding a fire that occurred at her residence earlier that day. Despite waiting for the detective for around 40 minutes, Brown expressed her fatigue and requested to leave.
Okay, and we're gonna seize your phone
Why?
because the fire's under investigation.
I need to know what my
So you can hand me the phone, or I can take the phone.
But I need to know what my phone's being. They're not telling me a reason why my phone.
I just did.
But you said it's under investigation, which I.
So listen to me. The
But
fire.
That's her phone.
So the fire is gonna be under investigation,
I understand.
and your phone's gonna be seized.
Is Shay?
Yes, everybody's phone's being seized.
The officers assured her that they would provide transportation back home. However, their promises quickly proved empty. 3 officers approached Brown, insisting on confiscating her personal mobile phone, claiming it was necessary for the ongoing investigation into the fire.
We're waiting for the detective, so the detective's gonna seize your
But no
phone.
one told me any of this.
Okay.
You told me that you were about to take me home.
Okay. So I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. So you can hang up. You can hang up the phone, and I can take you home. Yep.
So. No, they're not taking my phone and letting me leave. I don't know what I'm finna. It's 3 a.m. I can't go without my phone. Well, if I do the interview,
You can go do the interview, but your phone's gonna currently be seized.
Can I talk to him first? Can he come down here? Cause
Nope, we're not gonna do that. So you can hang up the phone, or I'm gonna take the phone. That's how this is gonna work.
oh, absolutely.
So
She said hang up the phone and they're gonna take the phone because at this point I'm being threatened.
However, under the Illinois Criminal Code, there was no legal basis for the seizure of her phone, as Brown had not committed any offense related to the investigation. The officer failed to provide a clear reason for the seizure, escalating the situation unnecessarily.
under investigation.
Don't ever tell me not to. interrupt you and I've been calm.
So the phone's gonna be seized. So in a second, I'm gonna take it.
I'm asking you. I'm
So if
asking
you-
you a reason.
so
I'm
if-
not being rebuttal. I'm asking you a reason.
So if you would like to talk to the detective, you can.
Why is my phone being seized?
If you would like to talk to the detective that is seizing it, you can. Do you wish to talk to him?
Yeah, but
Do you want to give an interview?
Brown, aware of her rights, refused to hand over her phone and requested to speak with the detective. The officer denied her request and attempted to coerce her into compliance. However, they had no legal grounds to seize her phone without probable cause or a warrant, as protected by the Fourth Amendment of the federal Constitution. Despite Brown's lawful refusal, the officers persisted, offering her the option to give an interview as if it were a condition to retain her phone. Brown asserted her right to have an attorney present and expressed her unwillingness to provide an interview.
no, I wanted to ask him why my phone's being seized because she said she could take me home, but without my phone, that doesn't make sense. It sounds like there's
So are you going to talk to the detective?
No, I need everyone to come and tell me why my phone's being seized because no one told me this until right now.
At this point, 3 more officers arrived at the scene, bringing the total to 6 surrounding Brown, who had done nothing wrong.
Do not kick. Okay, push your legs out. Stop. Relax. Relax.
Mom, I'm not letting go. I promise.
Relax.
Mom, I'm not letting go. I
Relax.
promise.
We just want your phone. That's it.
We just
okay?
want your phone.
They try to give me no protection.
Taylor. No. No.
Stop kicking.
Stop kicking.
Mom, they trying to get me.
Hey, Taylor, give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Taylor,
Turn her to
this way toward me.
give me.
Roll.
Give, give me your hand, Taylor.
Which way we roll?
Give me your hand. I almost
I'm going to keep doing the pressure point until you let go. Let go.
got this hand.
Release your hand.
During the altercation, the officers forcibly attempted to take Brown's phone from her, leading to a physical struggle. One officer used pressure tactics near Brown's collarbone to gain compliance, despite her lack of criminal behavior.
I'm filing the case as
Hang on.
soon as I get off this floor.
Let me move.
You all have no right. I came down here willingly because you're a black woman.
Get up.
So,
Okay.
Hold on.
I want you to think
Hold
about
on.
how you're
Hold on.
doing another black woman.
Okay.
When you go to
Relax. Relax.
You just put me in handcuffs and I came down here willingly.
Can you hear double lock?
Hold on. Let me
I
tighten them
came
up.
down here willingly. And y'all just okay with this, all of y'all. And you a black woman. You are a black African American woman.
Property.
Where's the phone at?
You're black.
Look at it.
All right. We're going this way.
They're white. I expect it from them.
right.
You're black, dude.
Okay. You also kicked me in the head, so.
You also, I came down here willingly because I trusted you. And look at what you're doing.
Are you willing to provide a statement or no?
The use of force by the officers was excessive and unjustified, considering that Brown had not committed any offense. Eventually, Brown was placed in handcuffs, and the detective informed her that her phone was being seized.
Do you want to provide a statement?
My detective, I need to talk to her. I need an attorney
You
present.
can, okay.
I need a lawyer.
You can take her to jail.
All right.
Take me to
Where's her
jail.
property?
Whatever charges you guys have.
You have resisting and aggravated battery of a police officer.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll do the interview.
You still have the charges.
I didn't aggravate you. You
You kicked
assaulted me.
Okay, so relax.
You assaulted me. I'm 18 years old and you assaulted me. Of course I'm aggravated. I wasn't resisting arrest. You didn't say that I was under arrest.
You're being arrested. I asked you, so listen, I asked you to provide your phone and you refused, okay? When you
But you didn't give me a reason.
So, nope. I said your phone was being seized.
You
said
never gave
stop,
me the
stop,
reason.
Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. I said your phone was being seized.
I asked you the
I gave you
reason.
several times
I
to hand it to
trusted
me.
you. That's why I
You did not
came.
hand me your phone.
Brown, steadfast in her rights, requested a lawyer, prompting the detective to order her arrest. The officers charged her with resisting arrest and aggravated battery of a police officer, despite lacking any valid grounds for such charges.
Scared, hello, you would do the same thing.
Cuffs still have to be double locked if they weren't double locked back.
They weren't. Go ahead and double lock them.
Double lock them, I can't move. Are you guys serious right now? How are you gonna do this to me? I'm like, bro, I just got out of high school and you all are scaring me.
Following her ordeal, Brown filed a civil lawsuit against the officers for violating her Fourth Amendment rights and causing physical and emotional harm. She seeks compensatory and punitive damages for the trauma she endured during the incident. Brown's mother expressed her concern, hoping that no other mother would have to go through a similar experience. The lawsuit is ongoing, highlighting the need to hold law enforcement accountable for their actions and protect the rights of individuals like Taylor Brown, who experience unjust treatment and unwarranted aggression from those sworn to protect and serve. At the start of this clip, we see two cars pulling over on the side of the freeway, one belonging to the cameraman and the other to his friend, who was pulled over by state troopers for speeding. When the officer notices that the cameraman is with the guy who was pulled over, he asks him to pull over in front of him as well. But since the cameraman realized this was just retaliation, he decided to just pull over behind the cop car at that moment. Let's see what happens next.
Okay.
So,
Driver's license and registration, please.
you're lying. But you're pulling him over, right?
You and him both.
You just told me you were pulling him over, so.
Yeah, well, he was going 87, you were going 85.
No,
Since you
I
don't
got my
wanna do what
cruise
I
on.
tell you to.
I got my cruise
Give
on.
me your driver's license and your registration and insurance.
The cop asked the car driver to provide his driver's license and registration papers, to which the driver replied that the cop must be fooling around as the cop pulled over the driver's friend's car. The officer replied that he has pulled over both cars. The cop decides to cite both drivers for speeding, even though the cameraman claims to have his cruise control on.
Well, you got to give me a minute for the registration, but here's my license. And you realize that, how can you see my speed? He's right in front of me.
You're following him. So here's what I did. I hit my front radar on him. He was going 87. As soon as he passed, it went to 85 on you. I'd never stopped the radar. That's the way it is.
Do you have a printout of that?
The man hands over his license to the officer, unaware that the officer can see his speed. The officer then explains, he's right in front of me and you're following him, so here's what I did. I hit my radar on him and he was going 87. But as soon as he passed, it went to 85 on you.
Now,
Or
when I make
picture
a
that,
traffic
prove that.
stop, if you don't do as I say by pointing to the front of him,
As you
by
say,
being behind
is that
me,
lawful?
I'm trying to make
Is that a
sure I have.
lawful order?
Yeah, it is, because
How's
it's
that?
officer safety. You're obstructing my
Officer
traffic
safety
stop.
is not a law.
So I want you to pull the front of him
Officer
so that
safety
you're
is
not
not a law.
behind me.
Quote me the
So that
code
I
for
can
that.
make sure that I.
Can you quote me the law for that?
The officer then declares that we'll conduct a traffic stop. If you don't do as I say and I pull in front of him, I'm doing everything I can to ensure officer safety. You're in my way, so I'd like you to pull the problem behind me just to be sure.
The code?
I'm not going to pull you the law for that.
Then there is no
a
law for
lawful
that.
Order. It is a lawful order.
There's got to be
on
a code
traffic
for it.
Stop.
There has to be a
44B
code
100.
for it. For officer safety, there is no code.
I don't care.
Just like there's no code for public safety.
Why is it
What's
that
the
you won't do
problem?
what I tell you to?
I'm with him, okay? It's not safe for me to just pull up ahead.
The man knows that the cop is lying and building up the laws that are not real, so he asks the cop to quote the law for whatever he says.
Yeah, I don't exactly go to the front of
I'm
people's
already
vehicles
pulled
because
over.
if you had a gun or something like that, you could always.
What are you so scared of?
What do you mean? What am I scared of? That's the way we maintain our
You think
officer
everybody's
safety.
out to get you?
That is the way we maintain
Why do
our
you guys
officer
always
safety.
think-
I don't know who you are. I don't know
Your
where you're
officer
coming from.
safety issue is ridiculous. You realize that?
The cops then explain why he is terrified. He responds, you could always have a gun or something like that. I'm afraid that's the way we make do you think? Everyone's trying to get you. That's how we made it. What do you think? Here the man responds, I don't know who you are and the safety issue is ridiculous. You realize you have one of the least dangerous professions in the world and I don't have to cooperate since you didn't pull me over. You pulled him over.
There's the insurance.
Stand by.
The man gives the insurance and registration to the cop, but what happens next is going to shock you. They just leave. The man then decides to follow them. The cop appears to refuse to disclose his service ID or information about a supervisor, instead merely handing the driver a ticket and telling him everything's on there. We have a suspicion the cop wants to get rid of this individual as soon as possible.
I'll give that all to you
I need it
on a
from
card.
you. No,
I'm
you
gonna give
can
it-
verbalize it.
I'm going to give it to
It's
you.
the law. You're supposed to verbalize it.
I'm gonna give it.
Can
I'm
you
gonna give
verbally
you. All I have to
identify
do is
yourself?
provide it to you. That's
Verbally.
all I have to do.
Verbally.
I'm gonna explain your citation
Someone
to
that
you.
has vision
This
problems
is your violation.
is
You
the
have
reason
vision
why.
problems?
When the man asks for the police badge number, the officer refuses and says, "I'll give it to you." However, when the man begs him to verbalize it, the cop continues to refuse. After the continuous refusal of information, the cop gives the violation for speed to the man and leaves.
Your violation is for speed.
Oh,
We're going
what?
85 and a 70.
Huh.
I'm gonna give you a violation citation for
Okay, what's your
80
name?
and a 70.
What's your name and badge
Be
number?
right down here.
What's your name and
Name
badge
and
number?
badge number,
Are you
right
going to
down
fail to
here.
identify?
And now our next interaction between the cops and a citizen. The video begins with a man standing on the road leading to Iowa State Prison. Despite the fact that the road is publicly accessible, the cops say that it is private property.
And your instruction on how to pay out a contest, whichever you choose. My
Who-
information
who's
is
your
down here.
supervising officer?
Huh?
Who's your
My
supervisor?
information is down here. I'm providing that information to you.
Who's your
There's
supervisor?
information. Have a safe day.
The cop approaches the man and tells him, "We're not going to be concerned about you standing out here filming if you go back and approach that prison. If we get a call about that, we'll come up here and arrest you." That leads to you being warned by an employee to keep off the prison location.
So we rode our bikes back this way because there's no signs right here saying that it's, private property or not publicly accessible. Such Skywalker. And so we rode back over in here, and Dum Dum decides to tell me that we're on private property. I understand it's penitentiary property, but this is a public accessible road to their visitors' parking lot. So,
The cameraman shows the location and mentions that we rode our bikes back this way because there were no signs indicating that this is private land or public property that is not accessible to the public. So we came back in here and he informed me that we were on private property. I understand it's a necessary property, however, this is a public road leading to the visitor's parking lot. Florida just backed up here, claiming that this was a private road, and you claim that there was a sign up here, but the only sign is the K9 on premises. That's all.
yeah, I know, and it's over. If this road, he says it's private, but there's no sign saying it's not. So and there's the parking lot's right there, right? That's where you go in to visit somebody, right? So this is open road, right? Ooh, right, and then he's trying to tell me it's private, but I know it's not. You know it's not, because the public. How do I go and visit somebody if I want to visit somebody, right? Well, the parking lot. Right, so that's where I would go to the door though to find out, on information on how to visit somebody, right? Right. See, and I say it on.
You're good as long as you're on
the road. Right.
Roadway, like meaning this roadway.
Oh, see, no. See, that's where I'm gonna contest because there's no sign saying I can't go down this road. He said there's no access, no public access, only whatever personnel.
Next, an officer arrives and the cameraman asks the officer about the property. The cameraman explains it's private, yet there's no sign stating otherwise. So the parking lot's right there, and that's where you're going to see someone, right? So if this is an open road, how do I go visit someone if I wish to see someone? So that's where I would go to the door to find out information on how to visit someone, right? The cop tries all he can to persuade the man to leave, but the cameraman continuously informs the officer he is perfectly legal to be on the road. The cops then tell him it's fine to film and be in the area, but they still ask for his ID. But what happens next is going to shock you and make you laugh. This is when the guy simply hands him a piece of paper with their ID scribbled on it, knowing full well he's not legally compelled to identify himself.
They just want you to stay on the shoulder of the road.
There you
You got your name, date, birth.
Yeah, I got my name. Hold on.
Spell your first name.
YOURFIRSTNAME. First name.
Next, the man gives the same type of paper written on it with the name. This is surely a lesson for the cops using the law inefficiently. The man's now done with his tricks and asks the cops if anyone's informed about you guys coming over here because this is definitely public property and there's no sign over here. Here, something strange happens when the cops go from ordering to requesting. So what happened just now, and what did the man show them? Just take a look. The man then leaves after displaying his weapon, which is the law document outlining what rights the police would be violating if the man was not allowed to remain there.
What's going on, guys?
We're good.
Not much. What's up?
How you doing, officer?
Is this your car?
Well, it's a rental right now. My car's been shot.
The Des Moines Police Department is currently embroiled in a legal issue after it was sued for the sum of $75,000. During the arrest of the plaintiff, it is alleged that the agency caused both physical and emotional harm to the plaintiff.
Put it in drive and
Okay. So it's your car though? Did they give you a fob or something?
My car, officer.
Did they give you a key fob or something? Or?
Yes, sir. Officer.
An investigation has been opened into this matter. Investigations and legal proceedings have been initiated so that we may determine how credible the claims are and ensure that justice is done for all involved parties.
Shake on the ground, and your buddy's giving me the idea that maybe he's got a gun.
Officer Kyle Tice, a seasoned law enforcement officer, handled a routine traffic stop in a manner that was both professional and efficient. He was concerned about the well-being of everyone and questioned everything from firearms to drugs in great detail. The unruffled demeanor with which Officer Tice approached the situation, as well as his continuous questioning of key topics.
There's no shake on the floor?
Officer.
Okay. All right. And you don't have any weapons on you, you said?
Officer, that is correct.
You don't got no weapons on you?
Officer.
Go ahead and step out, Montre. Yep, I just told you why. 3 times. You want me to recap again?
Officer, look, my hands is up.
Yep, your hands are up, and now I'm asking you to step out of the car.
I gave you my ID. You
demonstrated his commitment to preserving public safety on the highways. Officer Tice's demeanor shifted, and he took on an aggressive tone despite the fact that the driver had been helpful up until this point.
Go to jail. I would expect you to please listen. I mean, I told you I'm a cop. Face the car when you step out. Face the car when you step out. Face the car when you step out. Don't flex. Don't flex. I don't know what you're doing, man, but you need to knock that off. I mean, your heart is thumping, dude. Like, you're beaten.
Officer, please don't.
Don't what? Have a seat.
Okay.
Have a seat. I think that your buddy has a gun, so I need you to step in the car.
You think my buddy has a gun?
He's acting funny. Step in the car, please.
Officer,
if you don't step in the car, you're going to jail for sure.
Tice reached for his handcuffs while exuding an air of power, and he used them to bind the driver. Even if the driver cooperated with the officer's demands, the officer's actions nevertheless presented an unsettling display of power, and the unwarranted use of force frightened the witnesses.
Somebody's sitting there like that, like there's a gun right where you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, like, that's what happened.
The lawsuit was settled for a total of $75,000, with the city agreeing to pay each of the plaintiffs $25,000 as part of the agreement. Despite this, the ruling sheds light on prospective issues that may arise in the future in legal matters. Officer Tice is the subject of yet another formal complaint, and other law enforcement personnel have been accused of engaging in racial profiling and arbitrary detentions. The fact that the City Council did not pass an ordinance to outlaw pretextual stops means that a great deal of unresolved business remains. An unfortunate event that has stoked controversy led to the arrest of a black quarterback by a law enforcement officer who discovered bird droppings on the quarterback's vehicle. The quarterback, whose identity has been omitted to protect his privacy, was involved in an incident that took place after he parked his vehicle close to a nearby park.
Bird shit?
Yeah.
That ain't bird shit.
I promise you that's bird doo-doo.
I promise you it's not, though.
I swear to God that's bird doo-doo.
Well, I swear to God it's not, because I just tested it and that turned pink.
You can see it on the windshield.
That's not bird poop.
I swear to God that's bird doo-doo.
That's not bird poop.
I swear to God.
That's a lot of bird shit, man.
I tried to clean it last night at the gas station.
I can still wipe it off.
It's bird doo-doo.
Alright, okay. No, I don't.
On the hood of his automobile, unbeknownst to him, a filthy deposit had been left behind by a flying bird. An officer arrived on the scene after receiving a report from a concerned resident and questioned the quarterback about the claimed damage done to his vehicle. The officer's questions focused on whether the quarterback was responsible for the damage. The officer made the choice to arrest the quarterback, notwithstanding his explanation, citing a questionable charge of vandalism as the basis for his judgment. Concerns have been raised as a result of the incident over the practice of racial profiling, as well as the disproportionate targeting of people of color by police enforcement. A substance that appeared to be cocaine was found in the vehicle that the quarterback was driving, which led to the controversy that surrounded him. However, additional testing established beyond a reasonable doubt that it was, in fact, bird poop and not an unlawful substance. The quarterback's reputation was severely damaged as a result of the fraudulent test results, which generated an outcry. The quarterback may now exhale a sigh of relief now that this information has been revealed, although at the same time, questions are being raised about the accuracy and reliability of the initial testing protocols. By 2010, the police crime lab considered discontinuing methamphetamine and cocaine testing kits. Technology and the need for more precise and efficient drug identification led to the decision. The outmoded kits typically produced equivocal or incorrect results, hindering drug-related prosecutions. To assure high-quality forensic analysis, the department sought newer, more advanced testing methods. This innovative effort is intended to improve the crime lab's ability to combat the ever-changing drug crime landscape and provide justice in the face of illicit drugs.
I don't. Huh? I don't.
You don't have any ID? Why are you filming? Why are you filming?
Am I being detained?
What?
Can I leave? Am I being detained?
For a moment. Why don't you go ahead and shut that off?
An uncomfortable situation develops when a man records an incident with a camera and focuses on a law enforcement official in the middle of the action.
No, actually, no.
Turn around and face away from him. Do you have any weapons on you? Do you have any weapons on you? Do you have any weapons, sir? Yes or no? Do you have any weapons? Yes. Answer me yes or no, please. Relax.
I don't consent to searches, sir.
I'm doing this for my safety. This is a pat-down search. I have no idea why you're filming the police department, the cars in the parking lot, or filming me. Leave it alone.
He addresses the officer with self-assurance as he asserts his legal rights and inquires as to whether or not he's being held against his will. His tone conveys a sense of resolve. There's a healthy dose of both doubt and suspicion in the air, as well as a strong determination to make sure that accountability is maintained.
What's your name and badge number?
Okay?
What's your name and badge number?
You got any weapons on you?
No, I don't. What's your name and badge number?
It's not a knife, is it?
I don't have no knives on me. I don't have no weapons. That's it. Can I have your name and badge number, please?
Yeah, I'll give it to you in a second.
Okay. I'm not doing nothing illegal, Joe.
I don't know why you're filming us. Why are you walking along filming everything? Filming me.
Can I turn the camera around so they can see us?
No, turn around. They can listen to us. You got a recording. Leave it alone.
Why can't I turn the camera
Why
around?
don't you listen? Why do you have a difficult time following instructions? Why are you filming me?
I don't want to answer your questions, sir.
Why?
Get your supervisor out here, please.
No.
1564 is your badge number.
That's my badge number. That's right.
Okay, 1564.
Yep. Detective Kyler. Kyler.
Am I being detained?
You're free to go.
I'm free to go.
Don't videotape me no more.
The man's steady hand and unyielding dedication to defending his rights are obvious, which attracts the attention of spectators and emphasizes the significance of individual liberties. As the footage from the camera continues to play, the unfolding dialogue highlights concerns about the precarious equilibrium that exists between personal liberties and governmental restrictions.
Okay, so why was I detained?
I wasn't the officer. I have no idea.
For filming, I was detained.
Okay. If you were filming around a government building, a city government building, or anything, I'd want to come and see who you are too.
Okay, under suspicion of what crime was I detained for, though?
I want to see why you're filming the police department. We don't know who you are or what you're...
Is it a crime to film the police department, bro?
No.
What's your badge number? 604?
Yep. You want me to write your name down for you?
Yes, please.
Sure.
This is ridiculous, guys.
The individual kept his position and steadfastly refused to provide approval for any searches to be conducted on his person. He calmly but firmly emphasized to the police that he was documenting the incident for the sake of protecting his own safety. His commitment was steadfast. His palm was securely wrapped around the camera he was holding, allowing him to capture every scene as it happened. The individual recognized the possible hazards that could arise from interactions with individuals who held positions of authority. Nonetheless, he was a firm believer in the efficacy of openness and responsibility. His unwillingness to cooperate with the search request was motivated by a desire to safeguard his legal standing and make certain that an accurate account of the exchange was preserved. The camera served as his defense mechanism, recording an act of defiance for the sake of individual liberty and fairness. After questioning him for quite some time, the police officer decided to let him go. As soon as the man's shackles were taken off, the tension in the room subsided, but the incident left him with a bad taste in his mouth, and he decided to submit a formal complaint against the police officer. He felt his rights had been trampled upon and sought redress through the proper means. The incident was brought to light and the officer's actions were reevaluated as a result of the complaint, which prompted an internal investigation. By sharing his story, the man hoped to spare others from going through what he had. The ACLU supports people's rights to videotape police in public. The ACLU recently stressed law enforcement transparency and accountability. The organization reminded law enforcement officials nationwide that civilians have the right to film police interactions. The ACLU also empowered and protected anyone who recorded police contacts with detailed rules. The ACLU promotes recording to improve police-public relations.
Hey, what the Hey! Go!
On February 12, 2023, Officer Kyle Howe of the Toledo Police Department detained and physically assaulted a couple without any apparent justification. Officer Howe spotted a speeding vehicle on the highway and pursued it with his emergency lights activated. After pulling over the driver, Mr. Romero, Officer Howe alleged that he was driving above the legal speed limit.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What's the hurry tonight?
Nothing. I just picked up my girlfriend from work.
Okay. Do you know how fast you were going?
75 maybe.
Okay. I do a 77. You got your driver's license, insurance?
Despite Mr. Romero's compliance and providing his identification, Officer Howe also requested the passenger's ID, although it was not legally required.
Okay. Does she have an ID?
You use my music.
This is
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. You
just picked her up from work.
Officer Howe asked Mr. Romero to step out of the vehicle, and he complied. Officer Howe noticed something fall out of the vehicle as Mr. Romero stepped out, and he proceeded to handcuff him, claiming it was drug paraphernalia. Officer Howe informed Mr. Romero that he was being detained, not arrested, and asked him about his marijuana use.
What's that, partner? Okay. I'm gonna say you turn and put your hands behind your back for me, okay?
Really?
Yeah. .45 1 to 10. All right. Is that comfortable for you or not?
The laws surrounding marijuana use in Ohio are complex, but possessing less than 100 grams is considered a minor misdemeanor. Officer Howe then requested Mr. Romero to undergo a field sobriety test, which he willingly agreed to. However, Officer Howe then arrested Mr. Romero for driving with a barred license, indicating that his license had been previously suspended. The situation escalated when Officer Howe aggressively grabbed Mr. Romero, slammed him onto the patrol vehicle's hood, and threw him to the ground despite no signs of resistance. And then another officer arrived and unlawfully arrested the passenger, Miss Jasmine. Dash cam footage captured Officer Howe's use of excessive force and false accusations against Mr. Romero. Despite Mr. Romero's retaliation against the unjust treatment, Officer Howe continued to assault him.
Stop! Pussy! Stop!
Baby, please stop! Babe, please! Why are you following me like that?
Miss Jasmine's arrest was also unjustified as she had not engaged in any wrongdoing. Both Mr. Romero and Miss Jasmine were ultimately arrested, but it is important to note that their violations of the law did not excuse the mistreatment they endured.
Pulling away from me and trying to kick me into this.
Why the did you hit me and slam me on the ground that many times?
Following an investigation into another incident involving Officer Howe, he resigned from the Toledo Police Department. The incident highlights concerns about the excessive use of force and the violation of individuals' rights during law enforcement encounters. In another incident, a driver who had committed no wrongdoing and violated no laws was pulled over by an officer who falsely claimed that the vehicle's tag was expired. The officer's true intentions became evident when he asked a question unrelated to the traffic stop, implying potential phone use while driving.
And another question, you just turned that on, right? Like, you didn't have that while you were driving?
No, I just turned it on, yeah.
Despite the driver providing the necessary documents, the officer insisted that the expired tag was the driver's responsibility and proceeded to issue a ticket.
Because it seems like a while, if the validation tag expired in December,
The driver repeatedly explained that the vehicle was a rental and that the responsibility for the tag's validity rested with the rental company.
Well, you call Enterprise. That's not my car. I don't know why you pulling me over.
However, the officer remained ignorant and refused to acknowledge the driver's explanation. To confirm his innocence, the driver requested permission to inspect the license plate himself, which revealed that the officer's allegations were entirely false. In a revealing moment, the officer admitted to running the license plate before initiating the traffic stop, indicating possible racial profiling.
That's
It is,
Enterprise.
you're the driver.
No, that's not a problem. You call Enterprise.
You're the driver.
This admission exposed the officer's misconduct and further highlighted the unjust treatment faced by the driver. The incident exemplifies the officer's disregard for the truth and raises concerns about potential bias and abuse of power within law enforcement.
I see you tell me the plate is expired. Can I go see? That's your mistake.
That is my mistake.
Did you see because it's a black person? Look, come on. That's not
I didn't
proper.
see who was driving the car. Look at the plate.
Moving on to the next incident, a family was peacefully enjoying their time at a park when two police officers approached them without any apparent reason.
Hi.
What's up, guys?
The man recording the encounter immediately exercised his rights and requested the officers to identify themselves, which they complied with by providing their names and badge number.
How's it going? Who are you guys? Can you identify yourself, please?
When asked why they approached the family, the officers claimed that the family was yelling and screaming, an allegation that holds no legal significance, especially considering they were in a public park.
Please. And you, sir? Oh.
The family members calmly informed the officers that they were simply conversing and having a good time, emphasizing that their actions were not disrupting anyone else. However, the officers altered their allegations, now accusing the family of using profanity loudly, despite the fact that such behavior is not illegal.
I guess they're just yelling and screaming.
In response, the man recording the incident asserted his right to use profanity whenever he chose to do so, recognizing that the officers had no valid reason for approaching them.
Well, we're just here enjoying ourselves right now.
The family members started to dismiss their presence. They indicated that they would pretend as if the officers were not even there.
So my thing, there's some cussing going on here.
I cuss, yeah.
Kids here,
Yep.
obviously. They cuss.
They're playing over in the playground. Yeah, of course I cuss. I cuss anytime I want to cuss. So if you don't like it, like they don't like to hear what you want to say, then I mean, you don't have to be here.
Just as it seemed the officers would finally leave the family alone, another police officer arrived on the scene, prolonging their presence. The family members, realizing the officers' persistence in unnecessary drama, firmly requested them to vacate their space and leave them in peace. Although the officers seemed dissatisfied with the lack of disturbance from the family, they eventually departed, realizing their attempts to provoke a reaction had been unsuccessful.
Oh no, I'm talking to my people right now. There's another one coming up right now.